And now, your man, Dark Knight with BG, and it's the State of the Eagles with special guest OG Wade, the top caller from WIP, Marks and Reese Show. Let's get it!
Let's get it. Happy 4th of July, State of the Eagles.
Now, both on the table. Jason's going to go about this. Jason's going to go. Here we go. Three. Now, again, don't go until I say the word go. Oh, my God. Let's get it on. 3, 2, 1, go. All right.
How is everybody doing today? Welcome to another show of State of the Eagles with your boy BG31 and the Dark Knight in the building. How you doing today, my guy?
I'm great, man, on this holiday week.
What is up? What is up? Welcome to another episode, 4th of July episode of State of the Eagles with your boy BG31 in the building with my guest co-host Dark Knight. How you doing today, my guy?
What's up, man? What's up, guys? Happy 4th of July to everyone, man. This is a big show. I don't know, though, because I have to let these people know that this guy is a big, gigantic Jalen Hurts fans, and I don't know if we can have two big, gigantic Jalen Hurts fans on the same program. And I love my quarterback, but sometimes I have to reel BG in. I don't know if I can reel both of these guys in. I don't know, but I am so happy, and I welcome our special guest, OG Wade, from the WIP Mark and Reese show. He's the #1 caller on that show. He was just in studio last week. Was that Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. He was just in studio with Marks and Reese, and he is the first guy. I have to say this in case you guys don't follow WIP, because I know a lot of our fans are not from the Philadelphia region. So let me just give you his credentials, right? So he's like a top caller to the sports radio station in Philadelphia, WIP. And he was the first one, maybe BG also, but he was the first one on air that predicted that Jalen would be as great as he was last year. You know, like I admittedly was not one of those. I had to see some things last year before I proclaimed that he was our franchise quarterback. But OG Wade was on board from the time Jalen was born, I think. From the time Jalen was born, OG Wade was on board with Jalen, and he sold everyone that he was going to be the great quarterback that he turned out being last year. So I have to give him credit for that. And OG, you called it right on the nose, and I admit that I bow down now. I took back all my words. I didn't talk bad about him. I just said I didn't know what he was going to be, but now we all know what he is, and he is a great quarterback. So welcome to our show, OG. Thank you for blessing us with your presence.
Thank you.
All right, so I guess what's the first topic that we're going to tackle? And thank you guys out there for joining us on July 4th. This is a holiday celebration, and you guys have taken the time out of your day to spend it with us. So I appreciate that. Thank you, and enjoy yourself. And if you're going to let off some fireworks, make sure you don't blow off your damn fingers. All right, just be careful out there.
Right.
All right.
No JPP up in here.
What's the first topic tonight, BG? You got it.
Hey, man. Hey, since we got another Jalen Hurts fan in the building, we definitely got to talk about our boy Jalen freaking Hurts. Jalen freaking Hurts, the best quarterback in the NFL, hands down. Let's talk about it, man. Let's get to it. How you doing, OG? How you doing today?
Dream, man. You know how it is. Wonderful, magnificent, and great.
Yes, sir. So tell everybody how you feel about Jalen Hurts. You know what I'm saying? How was your overall viewing of Jalen Hurts? How do you rank him in the league? How good do you think this guy can be?
Well, I would the Duke. I call him the Duke, and I should say I preface that by giving you a little the ingredients of what brought me to this point. In his first year of starting, probably the 8th game, is when I went on WIP and I told Ike and John that I'm going to give Jalen Hurts a nickname, and it's going to be the Duke. And the reason why I say the Duke is because his demeanor, he's never too high and he's never too low.
Right.
Just a natural born leader. So that's the most important thing. When you can get a group of men to follow you, not just follow you, not just put that C on your chest, but in terms of leadership. I mean, this guy has true leadership, and it has actually been evident by his teammates and how they speak about him. I don't think he's authentic. I don't think there's nothing. We've seen all these quarterbacks. We see Patrick Mahomes. We see Aaron Rodgers. We see Tom Brady. We see everybody giving the company answers and everything. But this guy is a breed of one. He's different, And I told Ike now, I said, I see something in this guy that's different. And actually, we're actually witnessing an evolution of the quarterback position. And I'm saying,
Thank you. I've been trying to preach it to the nation for a long time now. Finally, someone understands what I'm talking about.
Preface that by stating that I'm not a fan. I'm a supporter. I'm not a fanboy. I haven't really. I've been doing this a long time. I've been calling WIP for 30 years. Okay, when we were on AM, so I've seen all the changes. I've seen everything come and go. I value myself, and my talent is talent evaluation. I can look at a player, and I can go back and look at their tape. And with Jalen in particularly, I not only went back to his Alabama years, and I went back to his high school year. I went back to see what cloth was he cut from. I wanted to see his parents. I wanted to know what drove him. And then once I seen the experience that he's been through, he went through a whole lot. So when you say a man at the bottom and he worked his way up to the top, and he's a consistent and a prominent leader and a positive person, there's no losing that. You can't lose. That's something that God gave you, or the creator. If you don't believe in God, you got to believe in the universe and the creator. That's gift. So that's not going anywhere. So for all the haters, you can forget about seeing him digress. That's not in his blood. And like Marcus Hayes, and he's insecure. That's not in his blood. Okay? I respect everybody and what they say, opinions. That's why when I come up on this mic, I don't bring my opinions. There's a difference between the truth and the facts. The facts is what's on the stat sheet. The facts is what that Mahomes is better than Jalen Hurts. The truth is Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the NFL, bar none. And I'll disrespect it back to Mahomes because see, when you debate who's the better quarterback, It's hard for people to do that without disrespecting the other quarterback.
Right.
And not disrespect nobody. Not Joe. I want to ask y'all, this is a point system, okay? You can't look at their championships because that is a team award. You can't look at their MVPs because that is a popularity contest. So let's go and look at the truth. Which player does more for their team out of their players? Which one? So I would say the Duke. Why? Jalen Hurts makes his offensive line better. Here's how. We had the same offensive line since Carson Wentz. Under Carson Wentz, this offensive line was not ranked number one. They were okay. He gave up 57 sacks that year. Okay? When Jalen took the lead and he got up under center, Lane Johnson suddenly haven't given up a sack in 2 years. You know why? It's not there. When Lane gets beat, because we see it, Jalen he's not there. He gets rid of the ball. He'll run the ball. He'll do whatever it takes not to hurt the progress that we're trying to make. Rather he throw the ball away, rather he run the ball. You're not seeing him and getting him in them positions. So it makes what? It makes your O-line better. Here's another thing that makes your O-line better. If you go and look at any of the Philadelphia Eagles games, and I'm going to tap on the screenplay, why our screenplays don't work nowhere. And everybody, why we don't run the screenplay? Why we don't? Because if you look at how the D-ends, in order for a screenplay to work, your D-ends have to get upfield quickly, and you want to usher them as fast as they can so that you can throw the screen right behind them. Well, guess what they're doing? They're doing a Pokemon. They're rushing, trying to see what does the Duke Gray do? What is he doing before they make their ultimate rush? By that time, what happens? Lane Johnson is not being pressured of giving up any shots. So really, his job is easy, and as well as Jordan Mailata. Guess what else it helps out? Helps out your receivers because those are seconds. Those are seconds that AJ and Devontae have to get on top of their corners. You get what I'm saying here? So, yes, he makes the O-line better. There's no other quarterback in the NFL, and Patrick Mahomes himself admitted that he makes it hard on his O-line because he holds the ball too long. You know why he holds the ball? Because he's not comfortable reading defense. He said that when he first came in the league. The one thing that he struggles with is reading defense, okay? So we have established that Jalen Hurts, the Duke, makes his O-line better. Let's go to the running game. Miles Sanders had multiple opportunities to prove that he can rush the ball without Jalen being on the field. Well, guess what? Against Dallas, he didn't look that good against Dallas. He didn't look that good against New Orleans. Okay, Jalen comes back. Wow, Miles Sanders getting yards now. You understand what I'm saying? Basic, and then also tapping in with the rushing game. He runs the ball, so he gets you 700 yards. So that helps your what? Your running game. Let's go to the receivers. I just gave you that one. He allows them guys time to get on top of their corner, okay, and beat their corner any way they want to do it. Let's go to Howie Roseman, your GM. He makes your GM better. How? Well, Howie had 2 number 1 picks sitting on him, and we always wait for the fall of Jalen Hurts to become not the guy. Remember that? Remember that question? Is Jalen the guy? Is he the guy? I knew he was the guy. Everybody was questioning that, okay? So by Jalen Hurts being the guy, Howie gets to do what he wants with them 2 number 1 picks. What did he do? He brought us Nolan Smith, and he brought us Jalen Carter, okay? Those are great, great assets. Why did we end up with them? Because Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the NFL. You don't need him. That's why. I think I rest my case there. I've been trying to challenge people on debating this with me, and I tell them all I ask y'all to do, leave the numbers at the door, and don't talk to me about championships because that's a team award. People can't.
I get it. I get it. I understand. You're talking about straight up talent wise and not any past history. I get that, but it's hard to keep those out of the conversations when you're talking about the best quarterbacks. Like I agree with that. I agree with a lot of points. You made a lot of great points.
Really?
But no, I have to say that I still have a debate to go. But I'm saying, like, because we can do that about Tom Brady too. Tom Brady has a lot of accolades, but if you think about athletically, his talent wise, he wasn't better than some of the other quarterbacks that played during his era, right? But his accolades were such that it warrants him being named as the top quarterback or in the conversation for the top quarterback of all time. Was he the most talented quarterback? No, he wasn't, but you could not discount all that he had accomplished in his career. And likewise, when you make that argument with Pat Mahomes, you can't, I know you want to, OG, but you cannot tell him to check his accolades at the door when you're arguing who's the better quarterback. You can't take away the fact that in 5 years, he's only been starting for 5 years. And in those 5 years, he's won 2 MVPs and 2 Super Bowl MVPs. You can't take that out of the argument. I get it. Jalen is a very talented physical specimen. And if you're looking at it that way, I can probably lean your way that you have a great point there. But what I can't do is it's almost like we're going for a job and you want Pat Mahomes to take off his resume the fact that he won 2 Super Bowls and 2 MVPs. And that's hard to do. If we're going for a job, you want me to take my best weapons off the paper. I can't even argue the things that I worked the hardest for and I accomplished with my skill and my ability. And let's not get it twisted. He may not be as athletic or stuff like that, but he's a special thrower of the ball. He is. That's a talent that you can't take away. So I can't. It's hard. It's almost like you want me to make this argument with both of my hands tied behind my back. That's hard to do.
Here's why I'm saying this, and I don't want to be redundant about it. Okay, and the thing is, we're not talking to Patrick. We're talking amongst ourselves. Okay, so we're outside looking in. I know how to look inside of the game. I understand what goes on that field. If you look at the AFC Championship game, it was 3rd and 8. The great Patrick Mahomes had an opportunity. We get that first down, they get to seal that deal. Guess what happened? He throws an errant pass. The punter team comes on the field. Cincinnati team come on the field to receive the punt. This little referee comes running up from out of the damn stands and says the play never happened. Okay? A whole play went on. After the play was complete, everybody was on the field ready to go. He runs up to say the play never happened. Now, go back. Now they get to do the play over. He wasn't able to get it again, but he ran out of the pocket and he got personal fouls. Unnecessary roughness. They come out, kick the field goal, game over. Guess what? He never beat Joe Burrow before.
Never.
NFL gave him that damn game. You know why they gave it to him? Because they wanted the narrative to be 2 African-American quarterbacks first time in the got it. Guess what? It wasn't going to work.
I love this guy.
I love this guy. I would argue more that they robbed us than they robbed Cincinnati, because that guy, come on now, when you look at that play, that guy clearly hit him out of bounds. He cried after the game because he knew he hit him out of bounds. So that, and the fact that he hit him out of bounds, if you really want to look at it, if he was not a mobile quarterback, if that was Nick Foles, he might not have gotten that, because Nick Foles wouldn't have made it to the sideline. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that was blatant. Now in our game against the Super Bowl, you can make a better case that was some bullshit at the end of our game. That's a stronger case than him running out of bounds and that guy hitting. We could all see that he hit him out of bounds. It wasn't even close. He hit him out of bounds, and that's what gave him the game. I don't think the NFL made that guy hit him out of bounds. He hit him out of bounds. I have a better case on the field conditions in the Super Bowl being so poor and negating our pass rush on defense having a bigger impact on our game than that last call in the Cincinnati game. It was horrible that dude did that. He just fucked up. He fucked up and hit him out of bounds. He was a little out, over anxious, and he hit him out of bounds.
That's the whole point. I told you that play should have never happened.
Yeah, so we never got to that. All right. I get
on this
that.
for a second here.
It's
very basic math, okay? Like, Mr. Wade understands everything that BG been talking about this whole damn time. He understands all of it. It's simple math. Patty Mahomes is excellent in one area, and that's throwing that football. Okay? If you add up all Patty Mahomes rushing touchdowns and rushing yards, that's a year and maybe 3 games for Jalen Hurts. Jalen is the only trifecta quarterback in the game today. The only one. There's no one you can compare with. You can talk about Tom Brady, but then there was always Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was a better quarterback than Tom Brady. He's like, Tom Brady got the reins, but Aaron got the MVPs. He got the better talent with his arm. Now, you can say Patty Mahomes got the better arm talent than Jalen Hurts, but he is not a trifecta quarterback like Jalen Hurts. I don't think the league's ever seen a quarterback like Jalen Hurts. That's the reason why it's so hard for these guys to understand when we say he's the best quarterback.
Hey, PG, check up too. And I don't want to disrespect Patrick Mahomes.
No, he's 1B. He's 1B. Jalen's 1A. He 1B.
I said it's a point system, right? I said, now you add the points up. Even if I give you the fact that he's got 2 Super Bowls, the fact that he's got MVPs, that's 2 points. Mm-hmm. I just way more than 2 things that Jalen is better than Patrick Mahomes at. I still win the game. I still win the debate.
Game over.
I can give you the MVPs. I still win. Who does more for their team?
Thank you. That is the argument that I make. Defenses stay up late at night to think about how they're going to stop Jalen Hurts. There's no other quarterback like that, man. For real. I know they might stop the passing game, but you're not stopping the passing and running game in what he's thinking about. That's 3 different things that you think about with Jalen Hurts, and all the rest of the quarterbacks, they only got 1 of those talents. 1. He's the one with all 3.
He's evolving. This game is going into another platform because of Jalen Hurts. The game itself, the NFL position of quarterback, has taken another. And guess what? Here they come. You got the kid in Memphis now. You got Justin Fields now. But guess what they lack? Decision making. They don't realize that Jalen Hurts' greatest asset is the fact that he makes great decisions. I said this before. Since Jalen Hurts been our quarterback, we have not lost 1 game because of him. I've watched Kansas City lose games because of Patrick Mahomes. I've watched Buffalo lose because of Josh Allen. I've watched Cincinnati lose because of Joe Burrow. Never seen the Philadelphia Eagles lose a game because of Jalen.
Never.
And I agree. This will be my own.
Hey, and I like what Ed says here. Says Jalen is still improving. We already know Patty's ceiling. He's Mr. Miracle Worker out there. He's throwing sidearm, no lookers all day long. But Jalen can do all that, and he can run the football, man. Like, people sleep tirelessly trying to think about how they're going to stop this man when he hit that football field. Like, he is, like you said, he's a 1-on-1 rare breed. And I don't even think Fields, even if Fields got better this year, he's out there Jalen Hurts. Lamar Jackson's not no Jalen Hurts. Michael Vick wasn't no Jalen Hurts. Donovan McNabb was no Jalen Hurts. None of these cats are Jalen Hurts.
He's a different breed, man. He's a breed of 1. I'm just trying to tell.
And don't get me wrong, he's my quarterback. I love him. I hate to have to debate this because he's my quarterback, and everything that you say, I agree with, except for the Patty Mahomes thing. I just think that's a little bit too far because I think it's premature to say that. I mean, all right, if you say it today, but what we don't have is we have a very short sample size on Jalen. We've only seen Jalen do that this year at an elite level, right? So before you crown him as the best, can we see a little bit more? We don't know. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that Jalen is going to be better this year than he was last year. That's my personal opinion. But can we wait to see him put together a few years of this elite play? Because we've seen quarterbacks like our own, our last franchise quarterback flash and then fall off a cliff. So
this is 2 years, Dark Knight. This is 2 years. This is 2 years. He did it the year before. He just had less talent on his roster.
Yeah, he did. I mean,
you know,
he
did it the year before. He did that. He was breaking the record since he stepped on the football field. Every game, remember the first year, every week we're going by, Jalen just broke this record. Jalen just broke that record. Jalen's the first quarterback ever to do this, that. And most of them were running categories for a quarterback. So everybody's like, oh, we can't give him no love for that.
All right, which brings me to another point. Brings me to another point, because you just said that. He didn't do as well the previous year because of his talent. Right, so his talent, you have to give credit to the fact that they signed AJ Brown, and there's a direct correlation between signing a top-notch receiver and giving him to a talented quarterback. We've seen it with Josh Allen when he got Diggs, how his game just leaped from year 3 to 4, how much better he got. But you know what I mean? And then we seen last year how the jump that Jalen took when we added AJ Brown. So how much of that was because he had more talent on his team? Now, on the opposite side here, we've seen Patrick Mahomes lose talent and win the MVP and the Super Bowl. Now, instead of adding a top receiver to his arsenal, they took away maybe a top 3 receiver in the league from his toolbox, and he passed for more yards and won the MVP and the Super Bowl. You can't discount things like that.
Yeah, three receivers.
And their receiving core last year in the Super Bowl they couldn't hold our receiving core's underwear. I mean, come on, they couldn't hold their jockstrap. Our receiving core last year was head and shoulders better than Kansas City. Do you guys agree with that?
Real quick, and I see these are like, you can go in any supermarket and you can buy them arguments right off the shelf.
Amen. I'm gonna give you the spotlight for this one.
As far as the weaponry, okay, bringing AJ Brown here, everybody wants to say he took this big jump. He did not take a big jump. What he did is we took out Jalen Reagor and you put in AJ Brown. That's the only thing that happened. Now, in that difference, you have a guy that's making plays on the ball versus a guy that was afraid to make plays on the ball. You understand what I'm saying? So in that situation right then and there, everybody keeps saying it was a jump. Go look at his game when he didn't have A.J. Brown. We ran the same plays. It was just that A.J. Brown made the plays. That's it. There was no big jump Jalen Hurts did. So he's running the same plays. The other thing is, everybody keeps saying Patrick Mahomes lost something and didn't. Well, guess what? Patrick Mahomes had Tyreek Hill, okay? We have A.J. Brown. The reason why we was up 14 points in damn near every game we had against the NFL last year is because we had what they call Iceland on the cake. We didn't need A.J. Brown. Although we got him, it made us better, but that was too much. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we got Iceland on the cake. If you look at, and that's why Patrick Mahomes, they were barely winning their games. They weren't up 2 touchdowns on people when they was playing. So things evened out. People have to start learning how to evaluate talent when it's there. Only thing you asking a wide receiver to do, I never worry about a name on the back of the jersey. All I ask you to do is possess the ball. Once you put, give me a little yak, because that's what's going to basically move the needle. So we got to get away from this star-struck stuff. You know what I mean? Like, and get down to football. This is a game of football. You catch the ball, he throw the ball, you catch the ball, and then you run after the catch. That's basically all it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's not act like Juju Smith wasn't a good receiver. No, he wasn't no Tyreek Hill, but he ain't no, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So he can play. He can possess the ball. He had other players. And I'm telling you right here now, you're hearing it from the OG. Kansas City will not make it out of the AFC Championship game. You know why? They just lost Eric Bieniemy, who was the only coach on that roster that held Pat Mahomes accountable. for his foolishness. Okay, them little no look passes that you just talked about, BG. Not only do he throw receptions on them, he also throw interceptions when he do it.
Right.
Okay, that's not even. I would never want Jalen to do nothing like that because it's not practical and it's not smart. So I don't want to see him do no look. That don't do nothing for me. Oh, it looks pretty for the fans while they drinking, smoking weed and drinking and drinking. That's why I don't drink because I stay locked in. I never ever get excited when I'm watching the Eagles game. Bro, my son will tell you, I do not be up in the living room, cheer all that stuff. No, I sit there until the damn game is over. That's when I cheer because that don't move me. Don't give me no one play and then I end up losing the damn game. So I'm telling you right now, the points we scored in that Super Bowl is good enough to win a Super Bowl. We couldn't get one damn defensive stop in that second half. That's what
like Drew just said too.
It's
You
not
gotta give credit to Andy Reid on the lack of weapons.
Andy Reid. That's Andy Reid deserves. I mean, come on, we know Andy Reid is an offensive genius. He's going in the Hall of Fame. There's no doubt about that. And he barely outcoached.
Even the Carson Wentz year when Carson had 5 receivers with 500 yards plus or whatever, and he still lit up the league. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't really matter about the star receiver. It matters about if your receivers are catching the damn ball. You know, the years that they caught the ball, even when we had no-namers. We've had no-namers for years. Even if you want to go back to the Donovan McNabb era before we had T.O., we had no-namers catching the ball, making plays for years. It's about, can you catch the ball when your number's called? And with AJ, that just definitely, like you said, icing on the cake because AJ came in and the ball out. You know, but even Drew made a good point. Is AJ had his best year with us. You know what I'm saying? It's not like AJ came and made us better. He had his best year with us because of Jalen Hurts. So, you know, I'm telling you guys, stop sleeping on Hurts. Just stop it. You just
definitely not sleeping on him. Like I said before, I think that he is going to be even better this year. The Eagles expect him to take another step. I expect him to take another step. And it's hard for me to say in what area do I expect him to take the step in because he's so good in all of the areas. I mean, pocket passing, he's in the top 3 in the league last year. Pocket passing under pressure.
No, don't take top 3. Number 1. Do I need to bring it back up for you? Number 1 in the league in pocket passing. Number 1.
Yeah. I mean, no, I'm not taking anything away. You're right. The top play from the pocket, he's the top quarterback. Second in touchdown to interception ratio, first in rating, and first in completion percentage. So I don't know how he improves on that, and I don't know how he improves on his rushing. He was, had the most rushing yards by a quarterback. I don't know how he does that. He has the most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback. And another thing that I needed to see from him last year, which I saw and I was very impressed with, was his accuracy on the deep balls. His deep ball throws were so accurate, and people had questions about whether he had adequate arm strength. But we saw that he had no problems with throwing the ball deep last year and did it on pinpoint passing down the field. So with all that, I still expect him to be better. But I just can't say in what category.
And that's why you got to say he's the best. But you're sitting here, right? You're sitting here clamoring like, what can be next? You're number 1 in the passing in the pocket. You're number 1 in a deep ball threat. You even have more yards than Patty Mahomes and air yards. So it's like less turnovers. It's like, what more does he need to do to prove that he's the best quarterback in the league? Is what I ask. Like what more? He did everything he needed to do last year. I know he came up short. He missed 2 games, so that everybody had. And that's the funny thing about it. You seen the big spread in yards, right? With Jalen Hurts and Patty Mahomes in terms of passing yards. And everybody still says if he played those 2 games, he's MVP. If he played those 2 games, even those 2 games was going to give you Patty Mahomes numbers in yards in terms of air yards. Andy Reid's like throwing that football. He throws it way more than Jalen needs to. Mm-hmm. So it's like just knowing that little stat, you should know that Jalen's that dude, man. He doesn't need to throw the ball that many times. He does what he wants, when he wants to do it, and how he wants to do it. And he does it all at a very high level that no one else can touch.
Another thing I want to touch on, I want to talk about Mahomes through 41 touchdowns. You know why? Because they didn't have that many rushing touchdowns. Listen, if we all know that coming into the Super Bowl, they put up the stat. We scored the same amount of points.
Exact same.
Throw the football. It's 6 points, bro. You know what I'm saying? So when I say about numbers, leave numbers out, talking about who's the best quarterback, is because I can get numbers to manipulate and win my argument. I can do that. No quarterback right now have more records in the NFL than Jalen Hurts as a quarterback.
Boom. He said it.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to leave that alone because I don't deal in numbers. I deal in truth. See, I let the people do the facts. I let them do that. That's the fact sheet. That's what's in the books. But boy, when I get you down, and I get you down hard, because if you look at that game, you touch that ball one time, game over, baby. That's Patrick Mahomes. He severely overthrew that ball. That was a horrible throw on his part. It was a pressure throw. See? It was a pressure throw. And what he had to do, he had to tell the ref, you see him? He grabbed him. Ref said, yeah, I hear you, Pat. And he threw the damn flag. So I'm telling to the NFL, I'm talking to you folks, okay? The players is responsible for the change, all that. Y'all wasn't going to let us win that game no matter how you look at it, bro.
Right.
We weren't winning that game. It was a blessing from God that we just happened to be this damn good that the NFL and throw the damn touchdown out. The NFL, boy, when you got to go all the way up, you know you something there. But guess what, baby? We back. Because guess who's starting it now? Y'all got to pay us back for that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I agree.
Well, in the middle of the street, we got cheated. They told the Eagles, and I mean this, and I'm not saying it as a joke. Every player in that damn locker room was told by Jeffrey Lurie, don't you say a word. Because this is a profit sharing. See, we fans. So we argue with the Cowboy fans. We argue, understand what the NFL owners are. They're a family, bro. Okay, how the NFL look, they look. Let's not sit blind to the fact that we got, that we got robbed. Let's not sit here and act like that wasn't the case.
I definitely agree, and I definitely agree with the point about the NFL being a family. We can go all the way back to cheat gate with the Patriots. Everybody, every other NFL owner knew that the Patriots cheated, and they were told also not to say anything. They were mad. They knew that they cheated. That we got cheated. This was our second Super Bowl actually to get cheated out of.
Yes,
we was cheated out of that 2004 game also because they were filming everybody's practices. They were doing that. So, and I agree with you, OG. I agree that we got shammed last year also with the field conditions. We were a great team, man. And I hate to bring the gambling conspiracy theory into it, but all the money was on us in that big game. So how could you slow down what is the only way you can slow down a record breaking defense pass rush? You know what I'm saying? Our defense was the third most sacks in the league. We had not been slowed down by anyone all year, and the only way you could possibly do that was the field conditions. Field conditions, right? Come on. The field
How did you guys write that about the whole NFL talking about it was the players' fault because they used the wrong cleats? What do you guys say about that?
It's the news breaking right now, okay? If you go, I just watched the game because the NFL is playing it right now, the Super Bowl. If you go back and look at the game, look at Kelsey's routes. Kelsey is going against the grain. Bruh, if you go back and look at any of Kansas City game, that's not the route he runs. He don't do misdirectional. Everything in that game, including the running backs, was misdirectional. Kelsey's route was a misdirection because he knew that our players had to change direction. Okay? Change direction.
With no traction.
Kansas City offense know this. How would they know this? Why would y'all allow Rihanna not to perform, but to rehearse on the damn field? Come on, man. We ain't. Listen, I know dummy. That's what I tell people. I know dummy.
I like this guy. This is a great interview. I love it.
First of all, the Super Bowl that we did with the Nick Foles, we shouldn't have got that Super Bowl. I'm sorry to tell you. Corey Clement was out of bounds. He was bobbling that ball. According to their rules, he did not possess that ball. Zach Ertz did not possess that ball. I'm telling you right now, the worst thing that could have happened to the NFL was you send it up to New York. Then you add live betting. Going into halftime, Philadelphia Eagles up 10 points on the Kansas City Chiefs. How many people bet against that situation? So Vegas said, whoa, I bet now all the money is going on the Eagles. All the money's going on the Eagles. You come back out, the referee makes a call that he ain't made all year long.
Horrible call.
I'm not trying to be a 40 whiner, but I know dummy. Okay? As far as the 49ers, y'all have nothing to complain about because you're acting like you got off the bus without Birdie. Damn it, he started the game. We put his ass out. And then your backup quarterback lost his heart because he knew we was whooping that ass.
Woo!
Y'all didn't come to Philadelphia with two quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all did not block. Your line did not protect your quarterback. We bust his ass.
Yes, we did. We bust their ass.
It wasn't like he missed the game. He started the game, bro. I mean, we put him out. It's an art there. That's a skill set.
Right.
Come around and put your head up and cause an injury to a quarterback. That's what you want when you're in a playoff game. Get rid of the threat.
And they want to penalize. They want to penalize us for that. When in all seriousness, the blame should go to their genius offensive mind, Shanahan, for deciding to block one of the best pass rushers with a tight end. You want to block Hassan Reddick with a tight end and then get mad when he wreaks havoc on your quarterback. That was your fault, Dodo. That was your fault, Dodo, for matching your tight end, for expecting your tight end to hold Hassan Reddick, keep him away from Purdy. So all the Winers fans, they can go kiss my ass somewhere, but we'll take care of them when the season comes up, and we will take care of them when the season comes up. Now, you know what? I like to ask that. You made great points about Jalen Hurts. I like to move to this. All right, I heard this on WRP. Was it this week? But what's a bigger game? Do you think? I think it was on the morning show. They said, what's a bigger game this year? The games against the Cowboys or that Niners game? What do you think is a more important game this year?
I mean, forget about the Cowboys. If the Giants was good or whatever, that would be the biggest game. Whenever you want to lose a divisional game, you can lose a conference game. But if I had my choices, if I'd rather lose against the 49ers or the Cowboys, I'd rather lose against the 49ers, because if you lose against the Cowboys, that's a divisional game. It costs us the division at the end of the year. So that's not even something that, I mean, logically, that's going to be your answer. I don't bet against. You can whine all the hell you want. It's not like you really. I mean, even when Jalen Hurts played them in his first year of starting, Quez Watkins, and man, let me do this. Quez Watkins, a 90-yard pass from back of the end zone. No quarterback in the league has done that. Jalen Hurts straight up and just threw that ball to Quez Watkins 50 yards. He didn't even get in the end zone. So it's another thing that Jalen got over any quarterback. So we talk about this stuff. So my point is here, bro. The bigger game is the cowgirls. That's what I call them, cowgirls. They don't even on the meter. About a male and a female, I see more femininity than anything. Because
I like that.
I love it.
that there's not a gap between us. Let me show you the gap, DeMarcus, because my quote was put down the weed. Okay, here's the gap. You fired your offensive coordinator. You're learning a new offense. I know you don't know this because you play on the defensive side, but your quarterback is learning a new offense. He also got new receivers. He also lost their best running back. Say what you want. Zeke was their best guy. Okay, so they coming into this season without a legit running game. I'll say that. I like Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard's coming off of a broken leg. I don't expect much. So if he does much, great. Give a damn. But they don't have Zeke. That's their bell cow. Okay, so you can't tell me that there's no gap. Now on our end, we coming back with Jalen being in his 40s, with AJ Brown in his second year in this offense, Devontae Smith in his third year in this offense, and we coming back with continuity and a better running game. You see what I'm saying? So there's your gap. If you want to see a gap, there's your gap. I always say this, and I challenge anybody on Twitter, anybody in the world, anybody in the NFL, give your team that when their offensive coordinator because I was the first one that said Josh Allen would take a step back because he was Brian Davis.
All right, here's a counter argument on the importance of the 49ers game. Because all right, so let me ask you guys, how good do you think are the Cowboys going to be a threat to us to win the division?
No,
you don't think so. All right, so if we don't think that the Cowboys are going to be a threat to us winning the division, wouldn't a head-to-head matchup against the 49ers be kind of huge? Because we are expecting them to be, I mean, going into the season, when you just look at the rosters and based on last year, you kind of see us as the top two teams in the NFC, the 49ers and the Eagles, right? You don't see them as the top two? Who you think?
We destroyed them last year. If that was a close game, I would say.
No. I'm just talking about
a good game. These guys are not.
I think we're better than them, but I'm saying that based on last year and going into this year, right? I would say, in my opinion, that's only my opinion, I would say that the 49ers and the Eagles are the cream of the crop in the NFC. So it's a good chance that we might meet each other again in the NFC Championship or somewhere down the line in the playoffs, right? So if we don't consider the Cowboys as being a big threat, that head-to-head matchup may be the difference between us playing in San Fran or us playing at home. So only in that sense do I think that that's a huge game for us to win, because we know that a big part of, although we were great last year, but a big part of the ease of getting to the Super Bowl is having those home games. It's very hard to beat us at the Link, and I would like to face everybody at the Link. So that head-to-head matchup may be the breaking point. It may be the cause of whether we have to go to San Fran or have to face them at home in the playoffs. So that's why I think it's a big game. And we all agree that we don't think the Cowboys are going to be a big threat. So what do you guys think about that? The biggest game on
our schedule right now is the Chiefs, man. Again, like Andy Reid's to beat us 4 damn times in a row. Okay? 4 times since he left Philly. He just keeps beating us. So for me, the biggest game next season is beating them Chiefs. I am done losing to Patty Mahomes and Andy Reid and these guys, Travis Kelce and these guys. Like, that's dead for me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
We got to dead that right now. Because if Jalen wants to say, usually it would be, beating the Niners or beating the Cowboys, for Jalen to be like, oh, I took that next step. For me, Jalen, if you want to take that next step, you got to beat the Chiefs.
But Jalen,
I'm talking about.
Like when people use terminology like that, it's not playing against the Chiefs offense. See what I'm saying? Jalen has to go out there and do exactly what the hell he did. Do his part. He put up 35 points. Mm-hmm. So Jalen can't play on the defensive side and the offensive side. So I hate to say you got to – no. Patrick Mahomes is going up against our defense Jalen is going up against their defense. The answer to your question, DK, okay, is the 49ers is coming into this year with no quarterback. How can you take that serious? We don't even know who the hell they starting that. So if that's the case, how can you get someone on our level, at our feet, at our back, that don't even have a quarterback as we speak? Sam,
let's remind everyone that last year they didn't have a quarterback, and they were on a 9-game winning streak. Shanahan
with a quarterback,
somehow,
Purdy. They had a quarterback. Purdy was
no. They had 3 quarterbacks, and during their 9-game winning streak, there were 3 starting quarterbacks, and Shanahan managed to win 9 games in a row. So I don't think you can discount his offensive genius at times, because he does have brain farts in the biggest moments of big games. But during that stretch, and that's why they were considered one of the top teams in the NFC last year, it's because of that 9-game winning streak that he accomplished with 3 different quarterbacks. And I don't think that Purdy is all that they say he was, because there was a lot of weaknesses and a lot of drop interceptions and all that. But I do give a little credit to Shanahan for pulling off 9 wins in a row with 3 different quarterbacks, meaning that he had to adjust his offense to each quarterback every time he had a different quarterback, and that's not an easy thing to do.
And guess what? When Purdy came in for them, he had to prove that he can do that. But if you go back and look at the schedule of who they played to get them 9 wins, they didn't play nobody.
That's the soft part of the schedule.
All this goes into account. But see, after the season, when you adding chips up, this is why I don't like dealing with numbers, because there's numbers, baby. All I'm saying is this here. Right now, they changed their defense court just like we did. Okay? So they're going to lose a point there. They're coming in right into this season with an unknown at quarterback, the most important position in football. Come on, man. I can't give you that. So who I will give you is I'll give you Detroit.
Oh, I like that.
Third, I give you New Orleans. Us, Detroit, and New Orleans is the NFC leaders right now. Jared Goff, I'm going to make a statement, and I said it on Twitter. And I said it in my quarterback list. Jared Goff will have a better season than Patrick Mahomes.
Ooh, mark it down. You heard it right here. The state of the Eagles, OG Wade with the hottest take. With the hottest take. I
love it.
Let's be clear. I'm not telling you if I was going to a draft that I would draft Jared Goff over Patrick Mahomes. I'm not even telling you that Jared Goff is better than Patrick Mahomes. I'm telling you, with Kansas City losing their best offensive tackle, their offensive lineman, with Kansas City losing Eric being their offensive coordinator, who held accountable for Patrick Mahomes, with Kansas City losing Nicole Hardman, Juju Smith, okay, Mr. Smith, whatever the hell his freaking name is. What I'm saying is that, bro, they lost stuff. You don't just come back and just be. First of all, you had issues beating Cincinnati. They had to cheat for your punk ass to beat them. They back, baby. Cincinnati coming back with the same, and they got your offensive lineman.
And they beat Patrick Mahomes all those times.
Whoa.
Like they were like 3 in a row. I'm happy for the playoffs. So yeah, I have like this guy's preaching to it. He's preaching some facts right now.
I don't think
facts.
Buffalo won't make the playoffs. I'll tell you that right now. Diggs wants out. Diggs wants out right now. You know why he wants out? Because Josh Allen can't reach him.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that.
Josh Allen ball outside the numbers. He's got a big arm, cannon for an arm, but it can only go straight and deep. He can't go outside the numbers consistently. Why you think Diggs be getting up and snapping on him? Diggs be running them, turning that thing, that curl, and Josh Allen can't reach him. He throwing picks, bro. People gotta wake the hell up and stop going with what these damn football heads are doing. These dudes don't know shit.
Woo! Tell them. Oh, wait.
In the NFL playing. Why do y'all think they know more than us? Because they played the game. I played the game enough. Don't mean I know, you know what I'm saying? My knowledge comes from me watching this game and shutting out all these punk ass things that think they know what the hell they talking about and looking at what's real. These guys, when they're out there on the field, I'm talking about the announcers that used to be NFL players. You know why they don't know football? Because as they're in camp and practice week after week, they're worrying about their own job, bro. They can be put on the damn street. What the hell you a player, Brewski, got time to be looking at Tom Brady and what he doing and the receivers and the running backs. Brewski had to worry about securing his damn job.
Woo!
Thinking these people know more than us. This is what we do. I've been doing this for 30 years. 30 years I've been talking this game. And I ain't I'm putting up facts. I'm the only one that knew that Philip was getting A.J. Brown on draft day.
I need this guy on BGN for real.
Jalen Hurts. Why A.J. Brown working out with Jalen Hurts and not Ryan Tannehill? That's his best friend. Bruh, people want to say this crap I'm hearing about. Oh, if you take Jalen off and put Patrick on, then who would win? No, bro, that don't go like that. Jalen with a ready-made team. Jalen had to go out and he had to talk to Howie and them and say, "Yo, get Devontae Smith. I got a relationship with him. Yo, A.J. Brown is my friend. We gotta wake up."
Blood's thicker than water. Hey, shout out to Trader Chris. He said, "Happy 4th of July to you and your families. Love you, brothers. Go Birds." Shout out to you and your $5 super chat, my guy. Good looking out on that one.
Good looking out, man. We thank everybody for joining us here on 4th of July. It's probably about time for fireworks. We're going to get out of here. One thing, I really, really appreciate OG for showing up today and bringing the fire today. We usually have.
Hey, we need this guy on the show again. Like, I love this guy. Like, I feel like he's like another version of me, but he's even more correct with it.
I think you guys were separated at birth.
And he's bringing facts behind it too. So this guy definitely knows what he's talking about.
Because I know BG, I know you like your boy Quez.
I'm a huge Quez guy.
Touch on this. Quez Watkins has a case of STD. Scared to death.
That's what I'm saying. Now he's talking my language. Now he's talking my language. Let the man speak. Let the man speak.
Now, to learn who you were, I watched your last live, and I heard you talking about Quez and the things that he did and didn't do. Quez is responsible for 2 of Jalen Hurts' interceptions because he failed to run. He feared running the right route. If Quez can't see it, he's not going to do it. Quez, if frame a bubble screen, you know where? Right to the sideline. No, I don't know who just sold. Somebody sold in this football. I don't know who did it, but if you watch his games, you'll find it on tape. When it can never be gotten back. I don't care how many Twitters he throw out. He's not the guy for what we asking him to do. And I prayed. I said, I hope that Jalen don't need him to make a certain play. And damn it, didn't it happen in the Super Bowl?
But listen, to get off of Quest for a little bit. Hold on.
No, BT.
Take a step back for a second. Because Devontae and Smitty and AJ wouldn't have been as open if Quest was taking the top off. A lot of those times. There's a lot of times, regardless if we like what Quest did or not, he dropped 3 passes, guys, out of 17 games. Well, actually 20 games. 3 passes. Now, in those 3 passes, he was still pulling the defense, taking the top off that defense, let it be over.
Well, let me tell you this: those
Devontae,
3
AJ,
mishaps
Goddard,
in those 3
Quez is
games.
still a valuable piece to this team.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying here. Those 3 mishaps in those 3 games, and we know one play does not win or make or break the team, but those 3 mishaps were in 3 losses. 1 being the Super Bowl, 1 being the Super Bowl, 1 being the Super Bowl, the other one being the Washington game when he fumbled, and the other one against the Cowboys. So I'm not, I know that he's made some catches, but I'm not high on Quez. And I think Quez is part of the game.
Like without Quez, we don't win that close game. Without Quez, we don't win a couple of games last year.
BG, let me say this to you. You notice I did not tell you that Quez couldn't catch. I did not say that. I said that will not catch anything that if he feels it's a chance he's going to get hit, he's not going to get that ball. If you got him go out, throw it to him all day long. Quez don't want no smoke, bro. Look at whenever we put him back there for the punch, where he run to? Sideline.
OG. Tell me this though. Tell me this, OG. Do you not believe that it's the same thing that happened to Reagor? Reagor was a starting receiver who went out and got Devontae Smith. His pride got hurt, and the next season he failed. I feel like that way with Quez. Quez went from being a nobody to a somebody his second year, 700 yards almost, touchdowns, whatever. He's in an NFL spotlight. Next thing you know, the Eagles go grab A.J. Brown. You don't hear about Quez anymore. Do you think that could have just been something that threw him off for 1 year?
Here's what I say. And I hope that y'all take my opinion. Okay? But I want to go back to something he opens up for. That is not true.
Hold on, OG, you're going in and out. You're going in and out.
Hear me now?
No, get a little closer. Let me see.
Hear me now?
Yeah, try it from there.
Yeah, right now.
What gives us our receivers open is the fact that, again, Jalen Hurts' ability to hold that ball in a position where it may be a run, where it may be a pass. That is what's giving your receivers open. Now, it's not. I'm telling you that he possesses that you can't win with. You can't win when a player is scared to do something, because it's going to come a time where you're going to need him to do that something that he's not going to be able to give you. So now, to the point of his role switches, the problem that these young players coming into this league fails at, their whole dream and goal was to make it to the NFL, to buy. When they do that, the players themselves have to reset their goals. So you have something to give you a drive. You just don't have a goal no more. He made it. This is something that Carson suffered.
All right, you're going out in and out again. Let me just say that OG is now he's really preaching. He, I might have debated him more than Jalen Hurts, but that's what I've been saying all off season, that Quez is not the guy, and I want him to.
Quez is the guy. Whoa!
I've seen
Quez. Quez is gonna be that guy.
I don't expect Quez to be the guy. I told you, if Quez was a stock, he'd be a sell right now. He'd be a sell. I told you all along, you can give me 2 peanut butter jelly sandwiches and a 20-ounce glass of milk, and you can have Quez. And that's even negotiable. I'll take 8 ounces of milk.
Listen,
he's going to be a game changer this year. I promise you. Quez is going to have at least 500 yards receiving this year with 5 touchdowns, at least.
I hope Quez make the squad. Hey, look, that is OG. That's WIP OG Wade. Eagles had landed. Yes. But I gotta go. So I mean, you guys, if you guys are free to stay on here, and carry on. but I have company here actually.
And I do want to get OG on the show too again. We're gonna get him back on the show again for sure
We
because
definitely
he
will.
is definitely we thinking like a lot of like, you know, I want to pick your brain a little bit more about these Eagles. So yes, I know Dark Knight gotta go. I gotta go pop some fireworks with the kids too as well. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up then. Go ahead, Dark Knight.
All right. Thank you guys for following us tonight. We thank our special guest, OG Wade from WIP, the #1 caller to the Marks and Reese show in the afternoons. If you're not in the Philadelphia area, you don't know. That's 94.1 WIP. You can catch him. He calls in almost every day, and I'm right behind him. I'll be right behind him. But we thank you, OG, for coming in and contributing to this show, and we hope to have you on this show again very, very soon, man. Keep up all the great knowledge. Keep up all the energy. You brought the fire tonight. Everybody said it in the chat room, man. We appreciate you, and we will catch you guys next week here on the State of the Eagles. I'm your man, Dark Knight, for my co-host BG31 and OG Wade. We're out of here. Peace.
Peace.
How is everybody doing today? Welcome to another show of